When I published a quote by Costi criticizing the slain in the spirit practice, ardent defenders quickly exploded with their thoughts in the comment section on Facebook. My name is Andreas, and in this episode of Digging Deeper, I would like to respond to some of these comments. John 18:6 is seen as supportive of slaying people in the spirit. When the soldiers and Jewish leaders came to arrest Jesus, they fell back at Jesus' words, "I am." However, this example provides no real parallel. The unbelieving mob acted sinfully against Jesus, so he made his divinity clear once more and protected his disciples. Jesus later says, "Let these go their way," talking about his disciples. Also, the mob did not remain on the ground resting, as you can see in charismatic gatherings, because Peter still had the chance to cut off an ear before they successfully arrested Jesus. Another passage often brought up is 2 Chronicles 5. Here the priests were not able to stand to minister when the glory cloud appeared in the temple, but this does not mean that they fell. In the parallel passage in 1 Kings 8 it says, "When the priests came from the holy place, the cloud filled the house of the Lord." In other words, the cloud filled the temple after the priests have already left and they could not go back into the temple to minister. The reason was probably that the cloud was either too thick or they were afraid of God's immediate presence, which can be deadly. Some think that Daniel, Ezekiel, Paul, and John were all slain in the spirit. In Daniel 8, Daniel falls face down, but the text says he fell because he was frightened of the angel Gabriel. In Daniel 10, Daniel falls again, but this time he was put to sleep to receive an actual vision. This experience was so dreadful that the men around Daniel ran away and Daniel's skin turned pale. In Ezekiel 1 and 3, Ezekiel falls face down when confronted with the glory of the Lord. But he falls as an act of reverence because, like every Israelite, he believed that no one could see God and live. The Apostle Paul, on the road to Damascus, falls to the ground, but he fell not only because he was in the physical presence of the Shekinah glory, but also because he was blinded by a light beam. The Apostle John falls at Jesus' feet in Revelation 1, but again, it was an act of fear and reverence. None of these passages provide actual principles for the practice of being slain in the spirit. They are unique and descriptive, not prescriptive. Another commentator claims that the closest thing in support of slain in the spirit is when Elijah slew the prophets of Baal. No, Elijah actually killed the Baal prophets who were pagan unbelievers, misleading God's people. Another defender writes, "The Spirit slayed the firstborn of Egypt." No, the firstborn males of Egypt literally died because of God's judgment. They were not peacefully resting on the ground, overcome by God's presence. The Bible does not teach the modern practice of being slain in the spirit. But why do people fall in charismatic gatherings? Some people confess they simply fall because they desperately want to feel spiritual. Others think that the phenomenon might be demonic. I personally believe the phenomenon is mostly the result of manipulation, peer pressure, and crowd control. Occasionally, there might be actual demonic activity involved. Moreover, some people with mental issues might find the practice therapeutic because it provides a public opportunity for uncommon behavior. Also, I'm not pointing out these things in order to show disrespect, but rather because I'm very concerned that there are true Christians in these types of charismatic gatherings that are being manipulated and led astray. And it is my earnest desire for them to know the truth about it. If you have your own thoughts about it, don't forget to share them in the comment section below. But as for now, I wish you a very blessed week and see you in the next video.